course of promoting livestock industry in Nigeria, Mr. Adetoyi has undergone several courses, trainings, and attended international exhibitions and conferences in over 30 countries. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming with a round of applause Mr. Adetoyi Ezeikel Olabode. You are welcome, sir. And to anchor this session, this conversation with the CEO, we'll have our very own director of the EDC, Mr. Peter Bamkole. A round of applause for him. You are welcome, sirs.
Okay, thank you. When we were having lunch, how many of you saw Bode by chance? Okay, how many of you just walked past him? Okay, so this is first of all to tell you how ordinary Bode is on the face of it. But by the time you finish hearing his story, I am sure you will not allow him to walk past you. I am sure of that. Now, I'm going to start on a very simple note. We're talking about the future of work and how things have been disrupted. 15 years ago, Bode was about to leave the company he had worked for 9 years. This company had been in existence for 24 years. So 15 years ago, this company was number one in the sector 15 years ago. Today, that company is almost non-existence. And today, Bode that came out of that is possibly number one in that field today. Bode, what happened? Why did you decide to leave this place at the time that it was peak for you? You were being celebrated by the management. Why did you leave?
Let me tell you.
Sorry, maybe you should give, for the benefit of those that may not know you, who you are, what you do, so that we can have the context before the question.
Thank you. Good afternoon, audience. My name is Bode Adetoyi. I like to put Prince there. Those some of my friends say the future king of Ekiti. You know, we in Ekiti, we are known for knowledge, but that is by the wayside. At the peak of when I left my company, I just finished my senior management program then, October 2003, at Legal Business School. And by then, we were opposite the law school. My guy here, Banki, was also one of the teachers in our class then. Professor Patutomi, they were there. But Professor Patutomi threw a challenge in the class. He said, for some of you in this class, if after 1 year or maximum 2 years, I don't see 70% of people in this class as a CEO, he said it means that you have wasted all the 5.5 months spent in this Lagos school. With that challenge, one afternoon, I was just sitting during break time in front of our company. You know, when you are maybe possibly head HOD, when the junior staff are passing, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, boss. Good afternoon, this. So something strike me that, is it how they will be greeting me every day? And I look at myself then that our revenue base in that company has risen to, at least I could say, more than almost half of it is coming through me. And I remember the words from Legal Business School then, and Professor Patu told me, this, I have internal fire within me. And I said, I have to at least do something for myself and look at what we have achieved in that 5.5 years. So from there, it was easier for me as someone working in an agricultural related company to look at the value chain in agriculture or in the poultry sector. By then, my former company, they were producing a special nutrient for all classes of poultry. I don't want to bother you with a scientific name, but the kind of our product is through that medium that animals get their own vitamins and minerals, just like a normal balanced ration. They will say it will contain protein, it will contain energy, water, vitamins, and mineral. So we are like a pharmaceutical side of the livestock industry. Because before, for some that have a poultry farming or other sector of livestock, in feeding the animal, if you don't give them good vitamin and mineral, the other component of the feed you are giving them will not function very well. So it was a very important aspect of nutrition in an animal. So I said, okay, I can go with this niche market. As at that time, you know, Nigeria, once you are doing a business and it's okay, we have 17 companies operating in Nigeria then. Out of the 17, more than 7 of it, they are international company. But where I was working was an indigenous one, and we're the leading indigenous company then. It didn't take me time. When I got home, I told my wife, I said, this is what happened to me this afternoon, and I would like to resign. Imagine your husband that you wedded to 8 months ago, that whatever is getting from that company is what you used to support the family. Is telling you that you want to leave the employment, and you know that your husband does not have any other backing than that. Well, my wife said, think about it very well. But before I knew it, you know, with our women, God bless our women, 3 days after, at least all my in-law, my father, they came and say, what is happening to you? Nobody is following you from home. But what happened is that you have to be determined what you want to do. You look at, if you are going to Ibadan, from here, you don't mind what you see. Your mind is at Iwo Road. That was it. And I remember, Pat told me, said, when you are taking some decision, it will be as if your vehicle is on top of a Tomiland bridge and there was a bump at your back. So if you wait, you are consumed. So he said, you need to move forward. He said, once you have bumped it, which means when you have a flourishing a company and a salary that is fat, official car, even they give me 50 liters of diesel. That time, you can see the cadre I belong to. So my wife said, all those diesel, all those chicken on Friday, I said, don't worry, God will do it. So after then, I only brought a copy of a resignation letter to her. He said, this man, you have killed me. That is by the wayside. So I align what I want to do. I identify what is about. First thing I did was to conduct SWOT analysis on myself, particularly looking at my strength as I then, weakness, opportunity, and threat. In fact, I did it on my young family then, and I did it on the industry. And the industry where we are then is, the barrier of entry is very, very high. So with the 9 years experience from a master degree from a UI, at least my work then is also to consult with the client of the company. So practically, I have a customer from all the 6 geopolitical zone, which I'm relating with by virtue of my position too, because I'm a technical manager then. Any material you are bringing to the company, I have to check it. I have to make sure that it's in conformity by the time we use it to produce. So that gives me an opportunity. But with the knowledge, the training we've had, I don't joke with supplier, I don't joke with banker, I don't joke with whoever that I meet on my way. So all these people initially are the people I relied on. Because after writing my business plan, I took it to two of my classmates in SMP class then, who are bankers, that they should help me look into it. So after working on it, I now see that I have a bankable business plan. The next thing that occurred to me was not, I don't have money or to be crying. I listed 10 important people that I've met in that 9 years. And I photocopy the business plan into 10 places. I gave it to them, and the covering letter that I wrote with it is that I want you to give me 5 million naira. In 1 year time, I will return the 5 million. I follow it up, which means if the whole 10 agree, that will be 50 million naira. But I don't want to bother you with what happened. At the end of the day, 3 responded. I was able to source 15 million naira within 3 months. So I went to one of the supplier too. I said, I want to start marketing your product. But the target is to be producing. But I don't have that type of money because I will need nothing less than 25 to that 50 million targeted. So since it's only 50 million, I went to one of our supplier then. So I approached him, this is what I want to do. He said, it's fine by me. He said, Bode, give me 10 million, I'll give you 20 million worth of product for 1 month. So we enter into agreement. You know, writing MOU or agreement will not be new to me. I quickly drafted it. He said, no need, just go and carry it. I said, no, let us just sign agreement. We did that. But what I did that surprised the man. Each time I sold, I would bring the money back. I will not wait for the month. He will now give me double of it. Before I knew with that method, I am having a stock of nearly 100 million naira. But one thing, after, for some, the remaining 7, some say, but we don't have money, but we can be advising you, which means mentoring. So I didn't fought with them. I still go to them for mentorship. So, but they keep on telling me what can sustain you as young as you are. You know, your former company, they will just finish you. But whoever you are supplying, make sure they get value for their money. 2, make sure you are straightforward with them. 3, make sure your integrity stand. They say because 3 of them finally, they told me later why they gave me money. And that is why I know that we that are in this hall, we conduct our business ethically. But either you have a manager or a son or daughter, warn them not to collect bribe in the company they are working. They said, 3 of them said they finally met and say, let us help Bode. That Bode was the only manager that doesn't ask for 10%. Because when you brought a supply of 1 million, at least you are sure of a 10% of that this thing. But that 10% that I refused to take was the secret of the early stand of the company.
Okay. I wanted to give him enough time to pour out his heart, but there are 2 or 3 things that we can pick from here. The first is that it pays in the long run to be very ethical when you are doing business. So he had the opportunity to behave otherwise. He did not. So the first set of people that put money into his new venture were those that recognized him as an ethical person. The second thing that we can pull out from this is that Bode is a very dogged person. When he believes in something and he knows he does not have what it takes, he actually seeks advice of other people that may know much more than him. So whether it is showing the bankers his business plan, and they will help him to panel beat his business plan, or people that he will go and ask them for advice or to mentor him. All of this he did. Of course, I'm sure you did not pay, right? You did not pay any one of those advisors?
No. They say that's what they will be doing for me free of charge.
Okay, so there are some people who could provide money. There were some that could just provide advice. But he harnessed all the resources within his network. And so I see two things from here. Most of us, we have gone through this program. We are alumni. How well are we harnessing the resources within the network? This is very key. So let's move forward a little bit. But you, of course, how did you get on the SMP program? You were still working for the company. You were not supposed to be sent. In fact, you were the only one that was sent to SMP program by your company. What happened to the rest? Because I know there were about 3 or 4 of you that won a particular prize and they were supposed to be sent somewhere.
Thank you, sir. I think 2 were 3, because that time we used to do annual manager productivity. So 3 of the manager, 3 managers, including me, we won the best, maybe in each of our department. I could remember the production manager, the head of quality control, and I think our head of accountant then, because he was able to computerize all our operations and everything. So they were the 2, they are women, I'm the only man among them. So at the end of the day, I don't know what happened. Even though I now have an idea of recent, when I ran to one of key decision maker in our company then, when he saw me, he told me actually what happened, which is not really meant for this audience, because it is actually office politics. But at least there's politics everywhere. Let's leave that one behind. So fortunately, I was dreaming to see London Bridge. That was my dream. I want to see London Bridge. I want to see Queen Elizabeth Palace. By the time the letter came, it was only 2 of the manager that was given. When I asked, they said those people that will receive us in UK said it's only 2 they want. I was dejected, but my boss looked at me and said, "Bode, I don't know, maybe you go next year, but just give me 24 hours, I will know how to do." The 24 hours I was expecting from my MD was that, "Bode, I've been able to talk to them in UK, you will now go to London, so prepare to go to the embassy." So when he came back second day, he said, "I have a bad news, but they insist that it's only 2 people they could accommodate. But don't you worry, I have looked into your activities since you joined this company. I believe you have the trait to be a future CEO, and I'm going to help you because you do things as if it's your father's company." I said, "What is that, sir?" He said, "Have you heard about Lagos Business School?" I said, "Yes." I said, "But I don't really know what they are doing there." He said, "That is exactly why I will send you there to go and find out what they are doing there." He said, "My friend Pat Utomi will do something." So finally, through Professor Pat Utomi, I was able to obtain the form, and that was how I came. But before then too, you know, I'm a church person. In the church, some say this is a devil's work. Oh. You are supposed to go to London. Some that I knew this place say, "No, God has provided the opportunity for future wealth for Bode. Let him go to Lagos Business School." Because 2 days after, before I went back to my MD to go and thank him, first day, second day was expecting me to thank him. I didn't, because I did not really knew what the importance of this thing. That was how I came to Lagos Business School then. My class was SMP 19, 2003, October. But that was what changed the course of my life. I was a registered animal scientist. If you come, if I look at your chicken like this, I will know the type of formulation, the feed I can give. But when it comes to now applying it to make more money, I don't know. But thanks to Lagos Business School. After then, EDC also came. I have the opportunity to also be among people that got a scholarship from federal government. I think Bamkole can shed more light on it. I was among the CEO that was also selected. After that, All World Network of Harvard Business School, Anthony Elumelu, the partner, conducted some interview too. My company was also selected, and that was how I had the opportunity to go to Harvard Business School. And to two of my colleagues that eventually spent two years in London, let me tell you.
Is it 2 years?
No, sorry, two weeks. Let me tell you, one of my colleagues that followed me interviewed one of them in my office 2 days ago. So when I told the story of what happened, he said, why is he still doing like that? I said, what he came for, I will not tell you. But that was people I was looking at as my boss. And I said, thank God that I didn't go to London with them.
But having said that, you have been to London and you've seen the London Bridge.
Oh, after that,
Okay.
I'm even tired of seeing London Bridge.
Okay, so then you, after the SMP, which was when we met in 2003, during the LabX, thereafter, you were part of the GEL program, which Minister Ganga supported, and you were the 50 that we ran in Lagos. But then a few things came up after that. The business was growing, and you needed more cash into the business, injection of capital. And quite a number of our people always complain about lack of funds. We reckon the first way you did was, of course, getting 5 million. Now you have gone past 5 million. Then you had to look for new money. What happened in that stage 2 when you had an injection of another 80 million into the business?
Thank you. Don't forget, I told you I have a top 10 that I listed. So later, one of them, he said, Bode, I can't give you money, but keep coming to me. I will be advising you. You know, to some people, when you know that someone that say keep coming to me is someone that can give you 10 million or 5 million. Some will not go again. But I just say, maybe that's how God wants it. So one of these days, he just called me. He said, Bode, where are you? I said, I'm in Lagos. He said, come right away to Ibadan. I go to his house. He said, one of my friends is having problem in his farm. And I assured him that once Bode get to your farm, the problem will be solved. I said, sir, what happened? He said, don't ask me. I'm not the owner of the farm. I will only introduce you. He said, but do you know why I call you? He said, if you are with the man, I knew you that you are not going to defraud the man. He said, so that is the reason why I am calling you. Lo and behold, the farm was in Ogbomoso. I have to reach my wife that I won't be able to come back to Lagos that day. So I slept in that my mentor's house. He volunteered second day to take me to the man, to his friend. He just said my friend. I don't know the person. So I was taken to Ogbomoso. It was a pig farm and a cattle farm. They were having problem with feed. At the end of the day, through help, and I was able to also, the staff and everything, I identified what happened there. And I see that one of the manager there, the feed consumption, weekly consumption of feed in that farm should not be more than, as at that time, 380,000 naira. Because that was my first invoice to the man. When I said, can you give me 2 months to run the farm with my own feed? The man told me, I've not met the man, but the son, one of the sons was there. He said they were collecting 800,000 every week. Yeah, you say, he was one of our governors, so they don't invest. So from there, I said, okay, no problem. In 2 months, he was able to get good results. The son went to him. It was later I found out that it was one of our former governor anyway. He was impressed with what we did in the farm, and I told him that it's 2 months, I promise you, I would like to go. He said, no. He said, I will place you on retainership. He now asked the son to bring me to his house. So I got to his house. He told me, he thanked me for what I did. And he brought out 100,000. He said, in addition to what you have been doing, take. I said, no, sir. I said, I've done my work as a professional, and you have given me retainership. I will continue to look after the farm. He said, you are not taking the 100? I said, no, sir. I said, I'm okay. He said, oh, what can I do? Oh. He said, okay. You know what? He said, young man. He said, anytime you need help, just come back to this house. That's what I will say. I left. 3 months after, I bidded for a farming feed-related contract also. At the end of the day, I won a contract of 600 million with a UAC. So I took it to one of my friends, say, Bode, are you using juju or wish? He said, 600. But there was a condition there. We must see 500 million in your bank account before we can do business with you. That was the condition, like a clause. I ran quickly. I met Banky, was one of the people I met. Before then, I met 2 people. They gave me some condition. Banky will say, no, this one, you are working for them now. How can I woman be too wicked? But they keep on searching. So I didn't give up. And the days for the contract was counting. I just remember the man that said, anytime you need help, come back to me. The next thing was, Banky will not know, as I'm leaving you that day, I went to Ibadan straight away. So I got to his house. I took the contract paper and everything. He read everything. But I got the shock of my life. He said, can I see your audited account? I got the shock. That was how I say I got the shock of my life. He said, at least 3 years audited account. I said, okay. I said, oh, you don't have it? I said, I have it. He said, where is the audited account? I said, it's in Lagos. He said, go back. If you can bring it this evening, because it was around 2 p.m. He said, otherwise, bring it tomorrow. I brought it that day. I got back to the man's house 10 p.m. But fortunately for me, 2 people I met with him, later, I now knew that he briefed them about what happened. So he said I should leave this thing, that I should give him 2 days. So one of them later, we became friends. So they went through my audited account, the company profile, preparing all those who after Lagos Business School will not be a problem. So 3rd day when I went back to the man, he said, I think I can help you now. He said, I have given your audited account to the expert, and they said, they identify what thing. They say, your company is a good company, but you are a poor man. So he said, his consultant said, if the man can singularly got a contract of 600 million, he said, they told me something which I'm telling you now. He said, I will not just give you this money. I want to be part owner of your business. So I said, if you agree, let me know. I said, okay. We did the evaluation here and there. I went back. The man said, I am taking 40% of your company. That is another condition. So I quickly rushed back to Banky. I said, it's like somebody want to give money, but this is it. He said, compare with the 2 we got before, I think this one is fair. So at least that gives me rest of mind. I went back to the man. He said, this is the way we are going to do it. I don't have that 500 million I'm giving you. I will invest 80 million to take 40% of your company. And by that time, my net profit is going to nearly 18 million. So I went to some people, some say reject it. But because Banki say it is fair enough, I remember another thing I had from Patu told me. He said, it is better to go home with a thigh of a cow than to go home with a whole cock. That means you will have more meat if you share. Because you can't compare the meat. On that, I went back to the man, accepted. He said, do you know we are going to raise the 500 million? He said, I will give you my house. You will use it as collateral. Then someone has studied this your contract and your paper. I will give you a note. Go to that bank. They will credit your account with 500 million within the next 1 week. That was the story. And okay. also, I wrote to UAC that I am ready to do their business. Okay. Ask me the profit we made from it. I'll keep it. No, I said I'll keep it from. I won't tell them.
Okay. All right. I wanted him to go through this story because so many times, many people like him run back to us and they are panicking, they are afraid, and they don't even know what to do. But you see, business can never be one-sided. Yes, you might have spotted the opportunities. Yes, you might be able to do the business better than the person that has the money. But there were two options. It's either he continued to run around with that paper until it will expire in his hands, and he will not make any progress at all. And that business of 600 million will just be on paper. Or he could share it with somebody, and that would be like a stepping stone. And when we look at both sides, and based on the previous ones that he has showed before, I just simply advised him that, look, it's either you take this or you die. And he looked at me. Sometimes, you know, I tell entrepreneurs that 3 people in this world, apart from God, that you have to tell the truth to. The first person will probably be your doctor. If you're very ill and you want to get better, you better tell your doctor the truth, because that's the only person that can help you at that time. The second person is probably your lawyer. If you get into some serious problems, they are the ones that understand the technicality of the law, and they'll be able to help you to get out of it. Otherwise, life jail. And then the third, if you are a business person, is people like us. If you tell us the truth, we may be able to help you to get out of it. So it wasn't easy, it was tough, and at that time, not many people were comfortable sharing what we call the sweat that has gone into the business with anybody else because you have the money. But think about it. Without this guy giving cash of 80 million plus providing his house in Lagos as security, plus connecting with his friend in the bank to provide the 500 million, there is no way but they will have done even 10 million business. That's the reality. And so we need to begin to think. You know, in the morning we talk about you cannot do things alone. 100% of 10 million will have remained 10 million. But when you do 60% of 600 million, you're talking of something different. That was what happened to Bode. But that helped him to grow the business significantly. And I think it was after that you then made so much money that you now had your own plant. Before then you did not have. And so tell us, walk us through very quickly how you are then able to have your plant and how you started to dominate that particular space.
Yeah, another thing I didn't tell you that happened that afternoon before I told my wife. So when I go back inside the office in that my former company, before I resigned, I wrote 3 things down. To be sincere, I received, I told you I'm a church person. I received the name I'm going to give that company that particular day. Hi-Nutrients International Limited. The meaning of Hi-Nutrients, it was H-I-G-H that I took to my lawyer. But the meaning was that I will produce a nutrient that will be of higher value, better than the 17 companies that are already doing it. Because I was number 18. That was why most of the people discouraged me then. But people will discourage you. You are the one that know where you are going to. So you won't allow people to discourage you. So that is the lesson there. Number 2. So I made up my mind that I will do exactly what we are doing, but I will put the knowledge that I've gained in Lagos Business School then into practice. So another thing I did when I started was even my staff was not more than 2. I made this type. This is one of my staff. This is my media manager in the office. You can look at the T-shirt. As far back as 15 years ago, I made this type of T-shirt concept. The concept there was that the white there, that I said, God, give me peace of mind, just like a Nigerian flag. And the green there is I'm an agriculturalist. That was the concept. So I introduced branding into it. I won't tell you the story of, but I didn't get a car until 2 years after. Because of the sudden resignation, if you have spent 5 years minimum, you are entitled to a car that you are using that time. But my own was taken away from me. But that is by the wayside. A friend in the church said, Bode, no problem. Bring 100,000. I'll give you a car in my house. He said, why I'm taking 100,000 is that I want it to cost you something. Because if I give you free, you will not treat the vehicle very well. Though the vehicle I later spent 250,000. Anyway, but that didn't happen until I fell on Okada. I want to deliver a product worth 300,000 in Benin. So the goods, I wanted to use Okada to go and bring a vehicle that is going to load it. I fell on the way. This car is still here till today. Remember, if there is no pain, there is no gain.
Okay. So one thing that, again, Bode is very, very ordinary, but I thought I would bring him because it speaks to what most of us are. I see a lot of entrepreneurs, it's all about shall commended. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. You need to be real, but there is grassroots. But honestly speaking, there has been so many interesting steps along that journey. So again, and he has so many stories, so I have to keep directing him back to the story. So how did you then, what led to the building of the plant?
Yes. Before then now, I put back all. So let me tell you how I later converted those people that gave me 5 million to form the first board of directors. So one of them became the chairman. Don't forget, we are taught in the class that go and set up your board, do things ethically, see somebody that can talk to you, that you can report to. That was the setting. But after 2 years, one of them said, Bode, we made 17 million. Let's share it to 4 places. I take my own, you take your own. Which one that let us put it back? I don't want that. So when I discussed, only one of them supported me. That was how we used nearly all our profit to pay 2 of them off. But I cannot fight them because the product I'm producing, that is what they are still using in their farm. So, but at least we were able to sort out that one. So the remaining one person became the chairman of the company. So it now remains that person, myself, and my wife. So 3 of us. By that time, my staff has grew to about 11. I was able to now get a driver. Remember, that car that cost me 350,000. I have not changed it. And that is it. Someone told me, or maybe one of my mentor, he warned me, he said, Bode, any money you have, don't let me see you buying car. He said, the day you carry a brand new car to somebody that is not using brand new car, he ceases to help you or ceases to give you genuine advice. He said, be managing this car, be build. He said, you know next thing you are going to do? He said, all this money you have told me now, I know it will not be able to get you the machine. He said, but I have a friend in China. He said, give me specification of the machine. Pay half to me. I will add half to it. Remember, it's the same man that introduced me to, that took me to Bomoso, one of those mentors that say, I can't give you physical money, but at least I'll be helping you. So the machine eventually came through the man. I had an agreement with him that the money, the way I will repay it back is that any product I'm giving him, he will be discounting it by 20%. Which means if the product is 100,000, the man will pay only 80,000. I also agree. So the machine came. Then that was the first, I don't want to be mentioning bank, but at that time, it was easier for them to bring raw material. I've seen cash flow. I saw Fidelity that time when he was saying that you must have history. I now have history. I have inflow. The bank gave me 15 million naira, like a counterpart. This thing. We brought in raw material from Europe. Don't forget, I keep contact with some foreign company that was supplying us in my former company. We keep on. So by the time I want to start producing, one of them said, Bode, anyway, that was the first London. It was one of that foreign supplier said, Bode, we will send you letter of invitation. You look for money for plane. We will pay for your feeding and hotel accommodation until you go back. So I went to UK. I signed agreement with the company. But I told him something, because where he took me to was far away from London. I begged him that if it's one day, he should take me to London. He did that. Anyway, I was able to sign agreement. Then the company will also enter into agreement that if they can be giving me and providing customer service on quality regularly, I am not going to buy raw material from any other person. But later, they took the advantage of me. Maybe the product that's supposed to land at 1,000 per kg will land at 1,005. So later, they see that I went back to them and said, I took invoice from another foreign company. I say, give me at this price, or else we terminate our appointment. That was how I got the new price too. So they agreed to give me. So later, the company formed, but it was even part of the requirement of UAC that the product must be manufactured by you. Before that time, I went to another competitor. I struck a deal with him. I said, you will produce for me. The MOU read, any product that is of substandard, even if it has been paid for, you will pay me back. 2, I will use Hi-Nutrient bag for every product that you are giving me. Remember, branding, I registered with NAFDAC. I went to Abuja, Ministry of Commerce. I patented everything that I've done. I did it. By that time, we were able to buy at least 2 cars. First Bank said, you are not qualified for loan. Your collateral is weak, but we will do asset financing. So they gave us 2 cars. So I gave one to myself. My remaining staff, they were sharing one. But we still put Hi-Nutrient on it. We branded it. So when they go to Ijebu-Ode, Abeokuta, even my former company did not even really branded all their vehicle. So with that, our name was going up. And fortunately for us, to God help us, the quality of product coming from us was very good. Farmer, poultry farmer, they were happy and everything. So the product from UAC was produced from the factory. It was launched. The launching was done in 2007. Remember, I started the company 2004. One bag of my own not produced by me until 2007. So I invited Obasanjo Farm that they will be the chairman of the occasion. So I invited all the customers that have been given, either in Enugu, in the old geopolitical zone. So the man that represented Obasanjo there, he said, we need to help Bode. We are going to do launching. People were looking at each other. He said, let me explain it. I'm not saying that you should donate money to Bode, but all the farmers that are here, please stand up. Nearly 70% of the audience, they were farmers. So the man said, even if it's 500 kilogram, you must give Bode today to use this new machine to produce. And that was how we generated 70 million naira on that day.
Okay, so again, but this story is one of doggedness, but also is one that relies heavily on being ethical in the way in which he conducts his business. I'm conscious of time, so I'm going to fast forward because the meat, or let me say, the sweetest part of Bode's story has not even been told yet. Sometimes this year, I think. Well, not this year. It has started
February 2017.
Yeah, about a year plus ago, 1.5, 18 months ago, that story started. Each time Bode grew, he has more appetite to take more money. So each time he grew, he needed more money. So this is warning for all of you. Because you think that once you receive money, that's the end of the story. Sorry. Go and ask Dangote. He will tell you that the more money you get, the more you are going to need. And last year, it became obvious that he needed to step to a higher level again, and he started scouting for money. But luckily, he had already started giving out part of this company, so it wasn't a problem to him when it comes to equity. But a French company approached him. Novia, right? Novia approached him, and it took a while. I would say it took well over 14 or 15 months for that entire process to be completed. But the due diligence that we talk about could happen in different ways. And I was sharing with him some of the things that happened. And when companies say they want to conduct due diligence, you will think they're going to ask for your financials, they're going to ask for this. Okay, they will because they have to. But that is not the critical component when it comes to due diligence. I would like Bode to share with us two of what I call the interesting aspect of it. The first one, which is around checking your footprints in the digital world and how that made a difference to them being attracted to Bode. So you want to share with us these things around the digital space, how they found out who you are, followed you, and able to make up their mind, at least from that point of view.
Thank you. Just like the second lecture today, leveraging your business using modern technology. One of my, I will say more or less like hobby, is to always be I just, in a day, if I've not posted something on WhatsApp or Facebook, or I'm not too, it's not that maybe uploading picture of this, but I would like to upload picture like my new product, maybe the new NAFDAC registration I got, maybe I went to Malaysia, this is the product I just got, I will showcase all those ones. Because by that time you can see, as far back, I know the importance of using social media to market your product. You can see, I took this man, you are my media manager, anywhere you go. Whatever you are doing now, we are already generating traffic since morning that we posted. Even my company in France already knew where I am now. So they told me in the course of this thing, so the multinational company, a call from there. So when I had the call, he introduced himself. He said we met at a program in Iowa, in US, St. Louis specifically. He said we exchanged a card. I remember And that is why another thing, where does your interest lie? You don't need to follow your friend if he's doing something. Just follow your heart. One of my interests was that you can never see me in a party or club or disco. But I can use the last money in my pocket to travel. If I'm in the industry, our former president, Dr. Ayodunton, he said, you might be the most travel CEO currently in the livestock industry, because I like to acquire knowledge, I like to connect. Don't forget the story I was telling you, Hi-Nutrients International Limited. The international there was, I gave myself 20 years that I want this small company to have international status in 20 years' time. And that was the target I set for myself. Another target I set for myself that time was also, I want to be listed on the stock exchange. Because as at that time, it was only livestock feed, and it was not all that strong in the market. So all those things that you normally do, you get normal results. But when you do it abnormally in a different way, that people even say, are you crazy? By the time the results are coming, it will surprise people. Without knowing that after then, there was a World Bank report that the new frontier now is Africa. So, you know, Europe is becoming saturated. All of them, they want to come. But when you look at the risk, they will tell you. They say Boko Haram, kidnapping, this, they will tell you. But still, there's money in this country. So they called me. They said they would like to partner with me. I say, in what form? And what comes to my mind is that all these foreign companies, they just want to tap information for them to now flood the Nigerian market. They say, no. So after then, we signed letter of intent. They send this thing. I quickly constitute some team also. You know, by that time, I will have banker, specialists in the merger and acquisition. We were able, some say they will take this, they will take the amount. I added all the amount together. Is something that my cash flow can accommodate. At least the team I put together taxed me about 15 million naira. I say I'm going to pay for them to give me a valuation that will be of international standard. Later, the company in France sent Deloitte to me and another legal company from London. They were with my company for 5 months. And throughout that 15 years, my Deloitte audited the account for 15 years. If I have to write to bank to get some of this, it was later they told me the reason. They said they want to see my spending pattern and all the money for sales, how to match it with the kind of what we said we are selling. At the end of the day, we were able to come to an agreement on the valuation of the company, and they now drop another bombshell. We would like to buy 100%. At that stage, I knew that I don't need to come to my boss in order to give them answer. I told them that if we cannot do it 50-50, let's forget about it, because I'm becoming number one in the industry anyway, because the only company competing with me, they were coming from Germany, Switzerland, and South Africa. The remaining one producing here, I'm number one. So there's no any doubt about that. It's the quality of customer that we are supplying that make them to rate that at least. Because if you have a top 10 biggest commercial feed mill and you are controlling 7 of them, then you already, so I told them that is not. So they came back again. They say, okay, 90. I say, no. They came back again. They say 80. I say, don't let me deceive you. The highest I can do is 60. Because they told me also that there's no way they could put the kind of money they are bringing to Africa or to Nigeria if they don't have controlling share. So I consulted widely also, and people will settle for 65-35. So at the end of the day, the multinational company that their turnover last year was in the range of 8 billion euro with over 10,000 staff was able to acquire Hi-Nutrients at the amount I will not tell you, but at least my company with the over I myself have close to 100 staff now, has become a multinational company on June 17, 2018.
Now, what he will not tell you, he won't tell you the figure, and I will also not tell you the figure. But I will tell you something that can help you think about the figure. Before they bought into his company, the profit he used to make in 1 year, let's call it A. They retained him for several reasons. And not only did they retain him, they wanted him to sign that he will continue to be the MD for the next 10 years, is it not?
Yes, as part of the agreement.
As part of the agreement. He said, no, let me just sign for 5 years. He has other plans. And the money that they are paying him now, per annum, is probably more than the total profit he was making before they bought him over. So I don't think he has lost anything. And now he's no longer the CEO for Nigeria. I think he's CEO for West Africa as well, you know.
Nigeria is the headquarter now. I'm to cover the entire West Africa and Central Africa.
It's West and Central Africa now. Now, the reason why I brought him is to be able to show a quick narration of how you can honestly start like anybody else. And in the same Nigeria today, where majority of us are complaining, that ethics can play a major role in how you transform your company. Now, when Deloitte came, one of the things he did not say was that in that 5 months of digging up and going to the banks, you know, the entire 15 years, they wanted to know from day one, when you collected money from sales, where did it go? This guy paid it into the bank. Even if he needed to buy inputs, he will then write checks to buy. That says a lot about you. So those of you that are still taking money from customers, diverting it straight, even to buy inputs, be careful. Because in future, when we are about to buy into your organization, you may lose that potential opportunity that you have. There's so much story we can tell about Bode, but I would like to have maybe a few Q&A. Don't worry, this morning, unfortunately, we got a signal from the chairman of BOA. He had to go to Abuja, and he wanted to send a representative to us. Unfortunately, his conversation with CEO, so we can never speak to a representative. That's why I also extended the time with Bode. I hope Bode has been able to inspire us more than we think. So we will be able to take a few questions, and but Bode, be rest assured, he's still a simple guy. He's very unassuming, but this guy is loaded now. Let me just put it that way.